just be the guitar. Can't tell. I can't really play good right now. My pinky's not working correctly. Could be the bass. I suppose. I don't even have a better pick. It's crazy. It's such a massive headache right now. Turn this shit off. Spammed. How does it go? Oh, that's not right. don't understand how people do tapping arpeggios. It's not crazy. I cannot hit a fret perfectly with my right hand or right finger. Like that's fucking impossible at that speed. Dude, like, thank you for the comments. I'm just like so fucking frustrated right now because like, okay, it's a BC Rich Warlock Extreme. I think it came out probably in the last like 10 years or something. Newer guitar. You'll notice like stuff on the side like this. That's how you tell it's an Extreme. These little designs on the side. Also, neck through. Real nice guitar. Anyways, aside from that, like, trying to learn sweep tapping has been the most annoying thing ever, you know, especially when I've gotten decent enough at picking that, like, if you saw my picking, you'd think that maybe I can sweep tap a little bit, but I can't. I don't know what to do. Even if I didn't pick that very last note, it would be like impossible. I don't know how people do that. Why did that agree? Now I have a weakness. I have enough weaknesses, but this is like in the beginner again. I feel like it could also have to do with the action and how big the frets are, as well as like how small they are up here. Well, I mean, they're high up, but like in between the frets, you know, there's just not much room. Kind of fat finger it, I guess. Fuck sweet tapping, dude. If I had one wish, it would be take sweet tapping away. Did you learn by studying theory? It's like a good thing to do for sure. Hold on a second. Yeah, so learn theory, of course, and there's like obviously different things you can do to learn theory, I guess. It depends on what instrument you're playing. Like, if you're singing, you're often doing all that, whatever, you know. I had that class in school and I did bad, so I don't know how to do it. But yes, theory's good. What I started out with was scales and chords, and that's a good thing to do. Learn your scales and chords and then improvise and stuff. If you know Vinny Moore, there's a video where he talks about how he got good, and he would spend time making progressions and playing over them. And I mean, with the tools you have with like DAWs today, it's like really easy to record multiple tracks and make it sound great. So that's something you can do, as well as lots of backing tracks on YouTube. But honestly, I feel like it's not something I do, but I think that making the progressions yourself can help you understand it better. Put a 9 or something. Chuck Schuldiner looks short. I mean, I guess. I don't really know what kind of licks he plays anymore. Like, he only uses a harmonic scale. Listening to Death such a long time ago, but I'm a big fan of James Murphy. Yeah, I started that. See, got the Cause of Death shirt. Anyways, yeah, I mean the guitar also kind of explains that, but it's slightly different from what you play the lower end PC Richmond, and it was probably higher end back in like the 80s or whatever, 90s. But yeah, I learned all the James Murphy songs in the first 2 years. This tone does not sound like James Murphy one bit. That maybe it's my palm. Camaro. Oh boy. Yeah, you're getting into the hard guitar player category. No, I don't really know much of his stuff. I never really attempted it, nor have I wanted to, because I feel like it's just really hard, and he has strengths that are, you know, they happen to be my weaknesses. Maybe not, I don't know, dude. I don't think I'm doing it right. See all the string noise I'm getting? It's ridiculous, man. I can't palm you perfectly. It's crazy. Ridiculous. That's why I don't attempt that shit. That's why I don't like string skipping. I'm not very good at palming. Just, oh boy, it really pisses me off trying to learn shit like that because I am not good at it. I never have been. I don't know what it is though. I'm not playing good tonight anyways, honestly. I mean, I'm playing like crap, so. Hold on a second. Probably my favorite thing. I don't have a. I could don't have, but I don't know. Probably like trying to make Alpine stuff. So. Man, I'm actually. I'm just playing really bad tonight. It's like the fingers on my left hand aren't, they're not working correctly. Ridiculous. Now it's like all the way down here. I don't, whatever. I need to buy a bigger picks. Yeah. I don't know, I just can't do any, like, I can't palm mute or even stream mute. I mean, I can palm mute, but I can't stream mute when I'm. Jeez, I can't stand this, man. Nightmare. Like that. I wish you could play like that. Thanks. You know, I think a lot of people feel like that when they're just getting into it, or if they haven't got into it yet, but if you could play like this, you would understand like how it just gets so boring. It's not fun anymore. I don't know, man. I mean, obviously playing music and guitar is fun, but I don't care about all this technique nonsense as much anymore. I certainly care about it, but only because I want to be as good as I can. It's just not like a wow thing to me anymore. It's kind of like whatever. You know, I don't even like music where it's like just the guitar is constantly showing off. I mean, for a solo, there should be some fast licks if you want to, I'm sure, you know. But the most important thing is writing good music and playing good notes, good feel, good phrasing, which it's a lot harder to get good at that too, honestly. You know, I could study these techniques and get better a lot easier than I could at all that other stuff. Dude, this fucking strap is a piece of shit. I don't use my 9-volt guitar, bro. Plays awful. I don't know why. Probably just me tonight. I feel like it has something to do with the action. Somehow. Something's up with it. I wouldn't consider myself, I don't know, I mean, I guess I have good picking, good sweep picking, but I wouldn't consider myself to be like a top level technical guitarist or anything, you know? I think it's just like, I used to think about it so much and now I don't care as much about it, don't practice it as much, so I've fallen off a little bit. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, what tuning is it? It's in E standard right now. I should have played my C standard guitar. Honestly, I don't really know what it is about this amp, guitar, play if I wanted to. And my hand was like, my left hand is not working to. I feel like something might be going on. The rose? Oh yeah. I got one to B standard. Of course, it sounds louder. Dude, I want to sell this thing too, though. Am I in any bands? Yeah. I'm in a band. It's an online band now because we ran through like 5 separate lineups within a year of local musicians that didn't have any dedication whatsoever. So now it's online with the really good drummer. It's called Mummified. It's a brutal death metal band. So, you know, I play stuff like this. Great song, but I can't So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with this hand though? That's the thing. I don't know if I can do that. You know, if I can't use this hand, I can't palm mute. And then it's like. I mean, I can try. I can't really make much of a song with it. sounds like so horrible. I don't know what's going on. It's just so like, what was How do I get it so clean? I can't, honestly. I don't get it very clean. But tip to a dude that has just 2 months playing guitar. Well, first of all, you're gonna have to tell me what genre you're into and what you want to play like, you know? Like, do you want to be a shredder? Because that's the only thing I can really help you with, I think. I don't know, it's really late. I have a headache. Maybe that's why I'm playing like this. Alright, metal. Okay. Pantera, Metallica, yeah. I'm guessing that's what you mean. So, I don't know, man. I don't think... Maybe when I was starting as well, I was like, oh, I want to play Metallica riffs, you know? But at some point, I got to the point where it's like, I want to improvise. So, if you just want to play Pantera and Metallica riffs, yeah, work on the scales. That'll make it so that you can pick up riffs easier and, like, you know, recognize just by ear, like, oh, okay. You know, look at the fretboard and then be like, yeah, that's here, that's there, without even playing, right? Sorry, someone was up. Anyways, yeah, improv is very useful. It's like, it's the most useful thing I've done is improv. Yeah, so if you just want to play riffs, just learn some scales, learn how to palm mute, and then definitely get your fingers, you know, finger dexterity up. Work on picking. If you want to play thrash metal and you care about down picking, I mean, you can alternate pick a riff. The truth is there is no difference in the sounds. If there is a difference in sound with alternate picking on your upstroke, that is because you're hitting the string differently, you know? You're hitting the string differently from when you're downstroke versus when you're upstroke. That's why it sounds different. It has nothing to do with anything else. So, you know, you can make it sound the same, like... This does not sound any different, right? I don't know, I'm kind of like going off the rails here. I'm talking about so many things, but yeah, if you want to play riffs, just learn scales, get your finger dexterity up. Work on learning some songs, like the Metallica songs, you know, build it up. Make sure when you're learning shit, if you're doing it to get better, and if you want to get better, learn stuff that's like slightly out of your range. And also, like, you know, the hardest stuff you can play. Don't always stay at the easy stuff, you know. And then if you want to, like, shred and stuff, learn theory, meaning, like, chords and scales. course, starting with major and minor scales, of course, and chords. Working your ear, you know, finger dexterity, all that stuff. You can probably search stuff up on YouTube about that. Same thing with, I was just talking about Vinnie Moore, and he talked about how he got so good. And, you know, look at what he has to say about that. And he'll tell you some stuff. I'll be right back. Moments. That's what that was. How did I know? Alright. How long have you been playing? Oh boy. 5 years and 4 months. That's what it's been. I know, I count. It's kind of funny. It used to be so much better than my alternate, but now my alternate is like getting better than my economy, and my economy is like falling off. Can you play through the fire and flames? No. I don't know it. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Yeah, I have it in my head. It's a meme song, so of course Can I do a Tool song? Maybe? I don't know. Something like that. Part of it was there. Alright, have your fingers bled from the guitar? Oh man. Maybe? Like maybe when I was just starting, but I don't think so. I think it just kind of hurts. I don't think they've ever bled. I do know people who have had their fingers bleed, and it's like, how have your fingers bled from guitar, you know? Like just from one show. Like I don't know. But yeah, I didn't never bleed, I don't think. Dude, such a pain in the ass playing guitar. If you're getting into guitar, my advice is to you, to quit. I'm kidding. I'm kind of kidding. Okay. Can I play bass? Yes. I can't play with my fingers. I mean, I can, right? But I play bass with the pick to record. Oh, can I teach you how to use a pick? I mean, yeah. I feel like a YouTube, you could just find a YouTube video on that. I mean, using a pick on bass isn't really any different from guitar, but I could teach you something, that I do. It's not like some crazy secret or anything. Everyone has their own way of like holding a pick for guitars. So let me put this down. Actually, no, never mind. Here's what I'm gonna do. I hit the ceiling. Yeah, there's no getting around this awful setup. Anyways, I don't know if you can really see. Here's the pick, and the way I hold it on the back side, I have these two fingers, which is something people don't usually do. Usually they just use like a pointer finger or like a middle finger, right? Let's say you're going to use a pointer finger and your thumb. So, I mean, that's just odd. I would never hold it like that. I use two fingers, right? And I have it kind of like this. So these two fingers are like diagonal. If this is straight down, these two fingers are kind of like diagonal going that way. And then my thumb, I mean, my thumb's pretty much the same, right? Thumb is the same here. I don't know if you can see that. And I use three fingers because if you want to have good pick attack, you don't want it to slip, Yeah, pretty much you just want to hold it diagonal if you have the pick like that. If your finger's pretty much diagonal. So you don't want it completely, you don't want your fingers to be horizontal. Because, it would be impossible to play like that. You want them like this, because you don't want to play like that. So what you want to do is you want the pick, hold on, guitar is flat here. You want the pick to be hitting straight down like this, right? And you're gonna have to figure out the most comfortable way to hold your hand. You know, it's not gonna be like this. It's not gonna be flat like that. You're gonna have it at kind of an angle like this. So, as you can see, diagonal. There's not much for me to teach you on bass about picking, because there's like pinch harmonics and stuff, and it starts to get tricky. Like, you have to adjust a lot for pinch harmonics. It's weird. How dare YouTube not show me your work? It's pretty awesome. What kind of work? I'm not sure what you're referring to. I don't know if it's my albums or videos. I don't know. But thank you. I appreciate that. YouTube videos, okay. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I thought you were talking about my album. I don't know. I mean, it's out on YouTube, but not on this channel. I think YouTube might hate me right now because I don't really get many views. I did stop posting, so that's why. You know, on YouTube, if you stop posting, I think within like a week, you're just absolutely screwed. And I have 3K subscribers, right? And I was pulling in thousands of views per video at one point, but now it's kind of died down. I just need to get back into it. You know, I was live streaming at that point too. I think there was one live stream where I pulled in like 100-something subscribers, which was pretty nice. But I had like 60 viewers. They weren't the same viewers, they were different viewers. 60 viewers, and like, I don't even know, man, like, tens of thousands of views for, like a 6-hour stream, so, yeah. You're a guitarist too? What kind of stuff do you play? Don't give me a genre, just give me an artist and I'll probably know. Actually, do give me a genre if it's not metal, because then I won't know. Black Sabbath. Okay, yeah. Are you just getting into guitar, or have you been playing a while? I mean, when I first started, I think it was before I even played guitar, actually. I got into, playing for a while. Okay, yeah. I got into Black Sabbath before I started playing. And then I got into Megadeth, and that's when I started playing. But that phase didn't last long. My music taste kept getting like more extreme until it finally got to the point where it's like, you know, brutal death metal. But I do still like a lot of 80s hair metal, thrash metal, glam metal, hard rock. I also like a lot of shrapnel record stuff, that's great. Beginner tips on finger independence. That's, you know, that's like, I might be the worst person to ask that, because I have terrible finger independence. like, what's that trick that people do? Like, if I try to move this finger down by itself, right? I can't. This finger, I can't. That finger, no. You know, they all move together. So, I don't have great independence. Obviously, you don't need to move them that far anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. But, you know, a big thing is, like, I used to play with 3 fingers. I used to not play with my pinky, and that meant that my pinky had, like, really bad independence. And you just need to work on playing certain patterns, certain riffs, and that'll definitely help. Make sure you use all your fingers, but don't use all your fingers just to say, you know, I use all my fingers. You gotta have a reason for it, right? Let's say you're like, you know, the frets get smaller, right? Space in between them gets smaller. The further you go here, and if I'm all the way up here, and I'm playing 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, right? I don't really see the point in including the pinky in that, because you could have more space to go to that 6. So basically, like, if you're up here, you don't want your fingers to be too crowded, so that's why I didn't play with my pinky, because I was up here a lot. But when I'm down here, that's when it becomes a problem. Like, I do not want to play GAB. I don't want to play GAB with these 3 fingers. I'm going to include my pinky on that, and keep this finger for maybe a note on the next string or something, because realistically, there's no way I'm going to be able to stretch this pinky to the next interval anyways. I mean, I guess I could, but like, not. I know it's right here. So, you know, my biggest lesson is that it really depends on where you are in the neck for that kind of thing. Like, if you're over here where the frets are big, include your pinky. But once it starts to get crowded, when you include your pinky, you need to not include your pinky. Unless you're doing like chromatic jazz licks like this. You know, then include your pinky, but playing chromatic stuff, you're gonna want to save that pinky for the next, like, maybe chord tone, if you want to move from doing like a 7th arpeggio to a normal arpeggio, 1, 3, 5, 8. I don't know, I don't listen to Alice Cooper, so I don't know much about him. Fender. Nice. I have like a Squire Stratocaster. It's like a rip-off Fender. Like, yeah, those play nice. You know, guitar. You can get really cool tones out of that. It's, you know, I prefer to have that guitar as well as some guitars with like humbuckers and, you know, that more modern sound. Nice sound. As in the technical death metal band, I did like 2 years ago, and I listened to like probably 20 seconds of a song. I couldn't get into it. Not that it was bad or anything, but like a lot of the stuff I listen to now I couldn't get into back then. So that's, you know, that's just how it is. But I remember hearing their stuff, and I mean, yeah, they're pretty good. They just weren't my thing back then for whatever reason. I mean, tech death ain't really my thing anymore anyways. Um, but yeah, I've heard them. A lot of tech death bands, you know. Revocation, if you want to call them tech death. Obscura, Necrophagus, not a big Necrophagus fan. Gorod, um, what's that band with the Beyond Creation? Yeah, Beyond Creation, they're good. What am I into now? Well, I've always been into like hair metal, thrash metal. Um, yeah, David Davidson from Revocation. He's the guitar player slash vocalist. He's freaking insane. Thrash metal, hair metal, some heavy metal. Right now, pretty much for the last like 2 or 3 years, it's been mostly brutal death metal. Not like old school death metal like this. This is like old school death metal. Brutal death metal is like a little bit crazier. And then I've always been into like jazz fusion slash neoclassical metal, so like Shrapnel Records stuff. Vinnie Martin, Dave Malmsteen, Tony McAlpine, Patrick Ronda. He's not on Shrapnel. Neither is Ingve. It's weird. I missed that I had played a lot of stuff live with a band from Tony McAlpine. We had 3 of his songs that we performed live. That was pretty cool, but that's done now. Also Racer X, by the way. Don't forget Racer X, right? I'm very confused. Oh, here we go. That's what it was. Shrapnel Records, also Greg Howe, is a big one. I don't know why I didn't mention it. Maybe I was thinking like Shrapnel. I'm mostly into the neoclassical stuff, but Greg Howe's first album is one of my favorites. How 2 is pretty cool too, as well as his next album after that. Yeah, I know. That's what I noticed that, and I was like, wait, Greg Howe. Yeah, his first album is great. Like, I searched up because I was curious because I thought the album was so damn good. I'm like, Greg Howe album reviews, and just as I thought, the last song in that album, every other song had like, at minimum, an 8 or 8.5 or something, you know, which is deserved. I think most of them deserved higher. But Little Rose was rated like a 10, 9.5 or something by a bunch of people, and it's like, yeah, that song is awesome. So many amazing melodies in it. I think the lowest rated song was like a 7.8 out of 10. It was Red Handed, which is, you know, it's the one that's like... something like that. But yeah, that song had a 7.8, and I'm like, I mean, there's like parts of it that I don't like, but it's also like, I think it's definitely better than 7.8. What am I writing right now? Heavy stuff or more fusion slash the other stuff you were talking about. So right now, I have an online band that I'm writing for. I'm writing like brutal death metal for them, like something like this, right? You know, chuggy stuff, crazy stuff, crazy shit that you hear and you're like, turn that off. And then I'm also still writing like neoclassical metal. I have a couple albums out. The first one sucks. The last one is pretty okay. But yeah, I'm working on my next release for that right now. It's kind of sounding like a copy of my last album. Not musically, but just like, I mean, yes, musically, but what I meant was like, it's not the same exact riffs or melodies. It's just kind of like, you know, that's a song that you would hear on the album before. Just clicked on the live. Where can I find it? Okay, so I think, yeah, my channel name is JakeGenest, and JakeGenestGuitar, I mean, whatever. You search up on Spotify or YouTube, whatever you want. Search up JakeGenest, and then 1986. In numbers, not in words. 1986 by JakeGenest, and that'll come up with that album. The song Champion's entrance is like very different from the rest of the album. The rest of the album is like based on the 80s sound from those neoclassical shredders. And that song was just like a last minute, like, you know, whatever, I'll put it on there. It's also the only song in D standard. Just has a bunch of solos and stuff on it. Follow me on Spotify, sounds neat. Thank you, dude. Just make sure if you check out an album, you do not check out the first one. You can certainly check out the first like single I released and the first album I released before that, but if you're looking for something that's like good, you're gonna want to look at that latest album. And you know, I'm not gonna say it's great, but those first releases by me were really bad and just kind of a bunch of different riffs put together, you know what I mean? It was when I was still learning to use my DAW, still learning guitar, and I definitely did a better job on my last album than the ones before that. Just like, it's not a good thing to get in guitar and just like the whole time for the first 3 years you're like, oh, I want to shred, because that's like, that was me, you know? And now I'm more into the music aspect, but I'm still like catching up on it, you know? Like, I still need to get better at writing music, improvising, all that stuff. Technique is not the most important thing anymore. Yeah, exactly. I mean, my song structures were terrible. That was part of it, for sure. I messed it up. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I used to do, and I still really do it, but I've gotten kind of used to it, and I've gotten kind of good at like writing on the spot, because that's what I've always done. I just kind of think of like a really great riff, and then I put some like good, decent riffs around it. It feels wrong, you know, and it feels like I rush it, but at the same time, I feel like another riff as a reaction to the first riff you come up with kind of comes out better than like trying to think of another amazing riff, you know. Just using your mind to say like, you know, what would happen next in the song, and playing that rather than like trying to make another riff. I don't know. But ear tabs or sheet? Ear training, but I keep going back to tabs. Yeah, so I wouldn't say I like train my ear or anything like that. I think it just kind of, I mean, I suppose I do, right? Because like improvising, yeah, it's mostly ear stuff. I don't look at tabs. I don't read music. I read music, but I don't do it in my free time or anything like that. You know, I only do it for music school. Mostly everything I learn by ear. It helps me to learn songs quicker, you know, without having to read music. And you know, if someone sings a melody and you can play it immediately, you don't need the sheets or the tabs for that, you know. Same thing as like thinking of stuff in your head, like you hear it, you can play it, you don't need to read it. I had a friend who I was in high school. I was in band with him, and he was a good musician, but he was good at different things than I was. So he couldn't like improvise. He could read music really well, but he couldn't improvise at all when I asked him to improvise, you know. He was like, he kept telling me to tell him what notes to play, and I'm like, you know, choose what notes you want to play. That's not right. Good delay helps, but paper pens on the player, you can get motion with Hello JakeGenestGuitar. Good delay. Yeah, that's true. Delay helps a lot with emotion, you know, in my opinion. It kind of helps. I think what it is for me is like, it just kind of helps the last note ring out a little longer while you're also picking the next note. And like the entire solo just sounds more connected, if you know what I mean. Like that's how I feel about it. Play some diminished runs. What was that? was the worst diminished drum. Any Dream Theater stuff? No, man. I don't listen to much. Oh, Jeff Loomis? Yes, sir. I'm glad you know that. I mean, I'm not surprised you do, honestly, because you knew all the other stuff. Dream Theater stuff. You know, I knew the solo from Another Day at some point, but not anymore. I forgot how it went. Oh, wait. I don't remember it. Yeah, but anyways, huge Nevermore fan, dude. That's freaking awesome. That's a goated band to be a fan of. I'm not like a fan of them. I think they're good. It's just you know, maybe I could get into that type of music now. I just wasn't into it. But yeah, they're great. There's a section from like a deathcore-esque song for my band. Oh, yeah, I can't play right now. Hold on. Favorite guitar technique? I don't know. It's like, it's such a basic thing for me to say this. I don't know, there's so much to choose from, but I mean, for me, like, picking is the most important thing. I mean, I guess it's not really the most important thing, but like, I don't know, it feels weird for me to pick a technique, I guess, because, you know, without all the others, it's like, it's pointless, but, yeah, I mean, picking seems like one for me. Pat O'Brien? Someone said Pat O'Brien? So you must know Cannibal Corpse. They were great with him. They were great with Chris Barnes, of course, too. I'm a big fan of The Bleeding. I was into the album Vile more, and then like Butchered at Birth. Now it's like The Bleeding. I like Torture a lot. That's a good one. Anyways, as I was saying, like favorite guitar techniques. I mean, techniques with whammy bars are really cool. Not like the ones that are like non-musical, like you gotta make it musical, right? So not just like random stuff like this. It's gotta be musical, like Dimebag Darrell used to say well, or James Murphy. Like let's say you're playing like over A minor 7, right? That kind of like stuff like that. Legato is also great. It gives you a smooth sound, whereas like picking, if you're aggressive with it, gives you a real aggressive sound, of course. I don't know why I said that. It's like obvious. Saw Cannibal Corpse live when Revocation was the opener. That's a freaking dream concert, man. I mean, it would have been for me a while ago. It's not anymore. I mean, I would certainly go see it. It would be great. But I'm just into different bands now. But that's freaking awesome. I actually saw Cannibal Corpse live at a metal fest in Massachusetts like almost a year ago. And it's funny, you know, the band Lorna Shore, they were the last band on. They were technically the headliners. Cannibal Corpse was the second to last band, right before it. And after Cannibal Corpse, Lorna Shore plays, and everyone was already leaving, you know. Not everyone, but like half the crowd left. And the entire concert, there wasn't really much space down in like the parking lot kind of area, wherever it was. But at some point, you know, when Lorna Shore came on, you could walk around and there was a ton of space because people were leaving. It was crazy. Improvisation is what separates the guitar legends from the guitar god. Imagine having Guthrie's improv skills. Yeah, I know. Okay, well, I don't know Anton Oberon, but I've heard of him a few times. But I do know of Guthrie. Yes, he's great. It was like 4 years ago, and I saw Animals as Leaders at the same venue about 2 years ago. Tampa. So you're in like a really great place. I don't know if you live there, but if you do, you live in a really great place for the metal scene, especially like death metal. So that's nice. I've been thinking about moving because my scene is crap. Really? Metal is unpopular in the Philippines. I did not know that. I guess I don't really know how metal's doing outside of the U.S. You know, I don't really know much about other scenes except that the Mass scene is pretty decent. The Florida scene is great. Texas scene, there's some death metal, a little bit. New York, and then Cali, you know, parts of Cali. Wow, I'm surprised. Gotta be established already, yes. That is why it is very important for you to start social media. Start, you know, streaming like I am right now. It's like a practice for me right now, as well as just streaming, talking to people, you know, it's like, that's something you should definitely do. It'll push you to get better at guitar, you know. Yeah, I do use, well, I don't think they're exactly like the Jazz 3 picks, but they're 3mm picks. I think they're a bit bigger. So they're not like wider, they're just like a lot bigger. Like a Jazz 3 pick would be up to here, whereas my picks are this size. But yeah, as I was saying about being established, like you're gonna want to start an Instagram. That is like probably the best place to market yourself. You know, as well as being good and being marketable. Like, you'll be marketable if you're good at guitar and stuff like that. And if you want to find people to be in a band with, like, you absolutely need an Instagram. You can meet a lot of people and get connections super fast. From Art later. That was really sloppy. Yeah, I was about to say, like, diminished and harmonic minor are very similar. But yes. That is very Ingve. Just dropped an album with my buddy, and we've just been dead in the water trying to find people. Yeah, man. It's something that I never got to. Like, I was going to do it. I was going to make flyers for my band. Sorry, wait, no. For my album, my shred album. I was gonna make flyers for that. I didn't. I was gonna do ads on Instagram, and I didn't. But I did have an Instagram, so that helped. You know, definitely post a lot of videos. Just be active on there. You know, meet people. There's some people who will post you on their story, and then that'll get other like-minded people to follow you, and you will make connections. It's, you know. Yeah, unfortunately that doesn't work, like, you know, like, just listen to my demo, like, I think I used to think that would work, because, I mean, it obviously should, like, you know, but the thing is, like, literally everyone who's trying to promote themselves, by asking people to listen to their demo, you know, everyone's gonna say that, yo, listen, it's fire, I swear, you know, something like that. So I think a lot of people just kind of look past it and they're like, yeah, whatever, I'll give it a listen, and they don't, you know what I mean? I think I might have even done that a few times, because I'm too busy trying to write my own stuff at this point, and, you know, they might be missing out, but shredding is hated? Oh, man, that sucks. I go to open mics where they play country, and me and my friend, we play death metal. It's funny. And I do all the shredding stuff, you know, and that sucks that that's like that in the Philippines. I think where we fucked up was rushing it out and not wanting to do vocals. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you don't have vocals and you have, like, music that's supposed to have vocals over it, the song by itself might be, like, a bit too boring or something without vocals. So that could be it. Yeah, I mean, luckily I have a few friends that are metalheads, you know, that's a good thing. You did all the production? Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what happens, man. I did all the production for my album, you know, and when it came time to write drum parts and program drum parts, I was just, like, so burnt out. I'm like, you know, I put the guitar down, I put the bass down, I put the keyboard tracks down. Hell, I don't even play keyboard very well, but I did it, you know, did my best. And yeah, I just kind of got tired of, like, working on those songs for so long, doing all the different mixes and shit. It gets tired. Yeah. What subgenres of metal do you specialize on? I play brutal death metal, old school death metal, thrash metal, hair metal, glam metal, hard rock, speed metal, heavy metal, neoclassical metal, melodic death metal, sure. I don't do black metal, that's pretty much the only thing I don't do. and I don't do prog. I do not do. I mean, like, parts of my music could be labeled as prog, but it's not like the thumping prog or the gen or anything like that, you know, like with the low notes. I can't be interested in stuff that's only based on rhythm of the guitar, you know. For me, drums are the instrument where it's like you're paying attention to the rhythm. And a guitar, yes, guitar has rhythms, and it should have interesting rhythms, but you know, I feel like you should be trying to create a certain kind of sound and feel with the guitar and bass combined, you know? I don't want to hear a band who is just chugging one single note. You know, that doesn't really define a key. It doesn't define a key, it doesn't give you any kind of feeling, it's just kind of like... You know, that doesn't do much for me. You know, stuff like this does, though. Oh, bleed? Yeah, that's a good song. Yes. I do confine myself into a genre, which is something that people don't like to do, but I like my albums to like have a certain kind of sound, you know? It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but just, I wouldn't put a jazz song on like a metal album or anything like that. Well, maybe I would if it was like, you know, a cool, never mind, I forgot the word. What are your main inspirations when it comes to songwriting, or just your overall style? So, I don't even know if you're gonna know these bands. I'm gonna start with the ones you might not know. Brutal death metal, right? I have a brutal death metal band. My inspirations for that are... I'm not gonna say Cannibal Corpse because it's brutal death metal, and they're kind of in the middle. Gorgasm is one. I don't know, they're really the biggest one right now, you know? Gorgasm, Deeds of Flesh, massive influence. Mortal Decay, No Infinite Annihilator, they're like deathcore, I think, and I try to keep stuff mostly brutal death metal. The only deathcore that I've gotten into is really like Suicide Silence and As Blood Runs Black. That's pretty much it for the BDM stuff. I'm into way more bands, but like right now my band is like mostly influenced by like a couple bands. You know, maybe like Deranged. At some point, Scattered Remnants. Am I a fan of Infinite Annihilator? If that's what you're asking, I'm not. No. I mean, yeah, I'm not like a fan, but I had some of their songs and I liked them. And then there's the other side of things, like with the shred stuff, the albums that I did, the stuff I write, you know, is very much based on like shreds, like Yngwie Malmsteen, Tony McAlpine, Vinnie Moore, Greg Howe, Patrick Rondat. Who's the other guy? I forgot. But anyways, yeah, like neoclassical metal, speed metal, hair metal, for that stuff. It's instrumental right now. Those are the influences there. Yeah, good luck to you, dude. Too, dude. Oh my god. Don't mind the stutter, but you know, good luck to you too, and thank you. I'm gonna call it a night because I've been playing for like 2 hours and I'm not warmed up yet. It's also 3 a.m. for me, so.